50 years of discovering new science, sharing best practices in clinical care, networking with the world's top healthcare professionals, and much more. That's worth celebrating. We're here in Glasgow for the 50th annual meeting of the EBMT, and this is EBMT TV. Welcome to the Scottish Event Campus as we gear up for what promises to be a seminal event for the European and international transplant and cell therapy community. Coming up, I'm going to be talking with this year's Congress co-presidents about this special 50-year milestone, as well as what to look forward to over the live Congress days. But first, whilst I go to find the co-presidents, let's take a look at what we've got in store for you here on EBMT TV. It's the highlight of the year for thousands of transplantation professionals, and we've got it all covered. We've also been travelling the globe, bringing you stories from the front lines in a series of short films. Do make sure to watch them all. You'll find EBMT TV on screens around the Scottish Event Campus, online via the annual meeting website, on the EBMT 2024 Congress app, and on EBMT's YouTube and X pages. Well, it's been 50 years in the making, and as the final preparations for EBMT 2024 are underway, I'm delighted to be joined by Grant McQuaker and Charles Craddock, this year's Congress's co-presidents. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining me. Well, we've made it to Glasgow. We're nearly ready to get going. What's gone into this meeting and the preparations, Grant?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say it's amazing to be welcoming everyone to Glasgow for the 50th meeting of EBMT. I think there's been an awful lot of work going in over the last year in particular. We didn't really sit down with EBMT until the last meeting in Paris and went through what was going to be required from our point of view. We got the input from the UK transplant community, and then a smaller group of us went on and worked very hard at trying to populate all the sessions for EBMT.
And what's new this year? What are the main changes from last year to 2024?
Well, I think there are a couple of innovations in the programme. The first is there's a session called the EBMT contest. So there'll be 5 presentations and there'll be judging and discussion around that. So there'll be a winner at the end of the day. Another exciting session that we've got is a joint meeting with the nursing staff in an MDT format, where there will actually be a post-transplant patient present who will be discussing the issues they've had to deal with. And I think that gives us a unique perspective on transplantation from our patient's point of view.
And I think also we've tried to pick up on this spirit of inclusivity and empowering the younger generation, the next generation of transplanters, and also to build into each session much more opportunity for interactivity. So I think it'll be a lively meeting with some fantastic presentations, but also the opportunity for delegates to actually challenge speakers.
And as we can see behind us, we've got this incredible timeline. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of EBMT. Where have we come in that time, and what does that mean to the field scientifically, but also I would have thought the community as well? Charles?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, I urge everybody to look at this timeline. It's a beautiful thing, and it's actually quite a solemn moment, really, if you think how far we've come from the pioneering work of people like Eliane Gluckman, where transplantation was really such an edgy proposition. And in fact, many of its advocates were seen to be almost pushing the envelope too much. Moving to a position now where transplantation is a core curative strategy, not only in malignant disease, but also in non-malignant disease, and also how it's provided the basis for CAR T-cell therapy and cellular therapy. So just to see how much has been achieved in the last 50 years, and how much of it has been done by clinicians who put patients absolutely first, but have this pioneering spirit, but also have the ability to take the community with them, is really humbling.
What are you both particularly excited about seeing over the next few days? Charles?
Yeah, well, we've seen such remarkable advances in the area of transplant, increased donor availability. So there's a pivotal presidential presentation around the science of post-transplant cyclophosphamide. So that's really opening up how we do haploidentical transplantation. There's some really important presentations about cord blood and the outstanding results with cord blood transplant. There's another area, where we actually can provide much better supportive care to patients. So there's some really interesting data about reducing transplant complications. So there's some really, globally significant breaking data presented at this meeting in all of those areas, and I'm really excited to hear those presentations.
And I think increasingly important is looking at disparity. I think these are cost-intensive approaches, and the cost of healthcare continues to escalate, and there have to be important discussions about what the implications of that are going to be.
What would you both say is most exciting about the future of the field, looking quite far ahead maybe even? Charles, let me come to you first.
I'd say two areas. The first is there's some very important data being presented again in the presidential session about how we extend the principles of transplant to non-malignant disease. Diseases such as sickle or metabolic diseases can be completely transformative. And secondly, I think a recognition about the importance of data. There's a growing recognition that we need to generate high quality prospective data sets, just as you would with other diseases. And that is going to be a real topic, I think, of the debates, but also the networking, working with our American colleagues as well, about how we can generate high quality data to inform future decision making.
The principles of transplantation are now being applied to other cellular therapies. And I think this is opening up treatment options in other areas, and treatment options that are moving away from the kind of traditional approach to transplantation, but still offer curative treatment in patients who otherwise had no alternative available to them.
Just to finish, Grant, let me ask you, you're from Glasgow.
Yes.
What recommendations do you particularly have for anyone here for the first time or maybe for further visits here? What should people be doing?
Well, I think the city centre has got fantastic Victorian architecture. It's known as the Deer Green Place because of the amount of parkland in the city. There's a country park, two train stops from the centre of the city that has got a herd of howling cattle in it. And I think it's got a number of world-class museums, and the museums in Glasgow are free. So, there's a fantastic opportunity there to see some great art and great culture while in the city.
Well, Charles, Grant, thank you both so much for joining us. We wish you every success for the next few days.
Thank you very much.
Sam.
Now, as promised, let's take a look at some of the work the world's experts in hematopoietic cell transplantation and cellular therapy are doing in this year's EBMT TV film series. Let's head to Greece, China, Spain, and beyond now to find out more.
Founded in 1947, the first AFAN Hospital, School Medicine, Zhejiang University, is the earliest affiliate hospital of the Zhejiang University. It has now evolved in a national level hospital integrating healthcare, medical education, scientific research, and preventative care. It has 7 campuses with more than 5,000 beds and more than 10,000 staff.
The Department of Hematology and Bone Marrow Transplantation Center has 300 beds with 70 sterile chambers for transplantation and 70 doctors.
We perform more than 500 transplantations each year, and 65% of which are haploidentical hematopoietic cell transplantation.
Some innovative CAR-T cells achieved great success, such as non-viral PD-1 integrated anti-CD19 CAR-T cells achieved the best clinical efficacy for refractory and relapsed B-cell lymphoma. More and more patients benefit from CAR-T therapy.
ADSCC was founded in 2019. Prior to that, the landscape of cellular therapy, regenerative medicine using stem cells was almost not present in the UAE. What ADSCC has done is reform the whole concept using evidence-based approaches, having a state-of-the-art stem cell processing lab for cellular therapies that assures the quality, safety when we get to our treatments.
We work very closely together, both clinicians, nurses, scientists, as well in our research labs, which has fostered great advancements. We transplanted the first multiple sclerosis patient within the UAE, and we also had our first CAR-T treatment within the region.
وبالتالي أمشي أول خطوات بدون أو مساعدة أي حد أو الواقع. الحمد لله أنا استعشت بعد رفع كاميرية.
It is the most rewarding moment when you see your patients back after discharge in the clinic, doing well, with a smile back on their face, and they have hope and planning for their life forward. This is really a great moment for all of us involved in the patient care.
My name is Ana Millán. I am the CEO of the Catalan Blood and Tissue Bank, which is the public agency of the Catalan Ministry of Health, whose mission is to guarantee the supply and proper use of blood in Catalonia. Moreover, BST also manages all the donation, processing and supply of cells and tissues, becoming the single SOHO establishment in Catalonia.
Since 2001, we established a hub-and-spoke model to deliver cell therapies. This model means one single cell processing laboratory and one quality control located in the headquarters of the Catalan Blood and Tissue Bank. We name it the Hub. This is connected to 9 collection centers that are inside to the hospital around all the territory, called the spokes. This hub-and-spoke model also provides cell processing service to external hospitals in Spain.
The cell therapy program in Patras, Greece, was established as a part of the medical school, the University Hospital, and the Center for Research and Innovation of the University of Patras. And the center of this program are 4 pillars: to treat patients, to recruit donors, to innovate, and to shape the science of the future. Starting from scratch in 2006, the cell therapy program has grown into 4 specialized pillars: the bone marrow transplantation unit, the Donor Center, the Institute of Cell Therapy, and the Master Program Cell and Gene Therapies. In these units, a dedicated team of over 50 healthy professionals are committed to our goals: to provide high-standard treatment to our patients, to advance public awareness and recruit volunteer donors, to innovate and perform translational research, and to shape the science of the future.
I came to Stanford in 2014 to start the Center for Definitive and Curative Medicine. The whole idea was to really accelerate the translation from the bench to the bedside, leveraging the innovation, the cutting-edge science ongoing at Stanford to cure incurable diseases. Diseases with very high unmet medical need, for which cell and gene therapy can make a difference. And of course, we don't cure diseases, we cure patients.
The Stanford Center for Definitive and Curative Medicine is designed to support a broad spectrum of cell and gene therapies that give one-time cures that last the lifetime of a patient. It is an ambitiously named center because the goal is to be able to do this once and done and have them go away and maybe never even realize if they're a young child that they had the disease that they came for originally.
Some great work on display there. And remember, those are just the highlights. You can find full-length versions of these films everywhere you find EBMT TV. And where is that? You'll find EBMT TV on screens around the Scottish Event Campus, online via the annual meeting website, on the EBMT 2024 Congress app, and on EBMT's YouTube and X pages. Tomorrow, we'll kick off EBMT's 50th anniversary, and we hope to see all of you attending the opening ceremony during the afternoon. Stay tuned to EBMT TV to get highlights from Nurses Education Day, hear how Ukraine is preparing for nuclear accidents, and much more. We'll see you right here in Glasgow tomorrow.